Okay, we are now live and on the record for Tuesday, April 26, 2022's afternoon docket. And Ms. Victoria Guerra, what do you have, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor, it is number 27 on your docket, I believe. Carlos Torres.
Okay, Deputy, if you can please bring up Carlos Torres.
Judge, there is a corresponding felony possession charge that was as a result of the same transaction. And he's still not indicted on that case yet.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if the DA has any status on that.
Your Honor, the state's not going to move forward with the felony.
They're not?
No, Your Honor. It's been
Okay.
Okay, then we just need maybe 2 weeks for me to get a plea offer from Mr. Lozano. Given that he has an ICE hold, I don't think he's a candidate for probation. I may be wrong. So it'll be sort of like a time served. I'm not sure what the court's policy is on the number of days he's required to serve before he can be released.
Mr. Lozano, would you be able to have an offer for her?
Your Honor, plea paperwork was sent yesterday at 11 a.m. At this time, the defendant has 155 days of jail credit.
Okay. That's sufficient for me. Ms. Guerra, if you want to go ahead and sign him up, we can set him up for a plea for May. I can either do May 3rd or May 10th.
We can shoot for May 3rd, Judge.
Okay, that'll be May 3rd at 1:30 for a plea.
Very well. I'll sign him up, Judge, and we'll be hopefully ready by May the 3rd.
Okay.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a wonderful day.
Likewise. Okay, Mr. Longoria?
Yes, Your Honor. Dan Longoria for Jose Morales, number 19 and 20 on your docket, and he is present in my office.
Okay, that's CR 1901375-I, CR 2203136-I. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Judge, he's going to have there's a pending felony that has not been indicted as far as I can tell. I checked again just a little while ago. And so I'm asking that that these be continued to another date.
Okay, Mr. Lozano, what's the update?
Your Honor, there's no felony pending. He got arrested on an accident involving injury on March 1st, 2022, which was the felony. I think it got busted down to an accident involving damage to a vehicle, which is a misdemeanor at intake, Class B.
Judge, I'm showing that I was appointed also on evading arrest with a vehicle.
And Your Honor, I think that one got busted down as well. Out of the same transaction, March 1st, 2022, it's at intake as an evading arrest detention. And then there's the reckless driving misdemeanor intake out of the same transaction, March 1st, 2022.
Okay, so he has 3 misdemeanors at intake at this time.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Longoria, you were appointed on these other 2 cases, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. There's yes, that's correct.
Okay, so then we'll appoint you on these 3 cases as well.
Judge, I think I've got an appointment. The application for appointment has a total of 1, 2, 3. I've got like 7 cases that I was appointed on in total.
Okay, so then you should be appointed on these 3 already?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe so.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so those are still at intake. So we'll go ahead. I'm gonna have to push it out. So right now what we'll do is we're gonna come back on August the 2nd. And they're all gonna be set up for statuses since he's out at 9:30. And that'll be at this time via Zoom.
Your Honor, can they be for arraignment?
Sure.
he was released from jail, Judge, and he has not been arraigned.
Okay. Do you want him to sign, do you want to get waivers of arraignment between now and then?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay,
In fact, I'll get him to sign the waivers for the 2 cases pending right now.
okay, perfect. Then we'll have him come back on 8/2 at 9:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else?
No, Your Honor, may I be excused?
You certainly may. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Bye-bye.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy, Attorney Patrick Kennedy.
Good afternoon, Judge. I represent Mr. Charlie Rodriguez and number 23 for the docket.
Okay. CR 20-08341-I, Charlie Rodriguez. Is Mr. Rodriguez present?
Yes,
Okay, and what is the announcement, Counselor?
Judge, there's a felony pending and it's set for May the 13th. I'm asking for a continuance.
Okay. We'll set this up for status on May the 24th at 9:30.
Okay, thank you very much, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, you and your client are excused.
Have a good day in your staff. Thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Coronado, Attorney Teresa Coronado.
Yes, Judge, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Judge, I have number 21 on your docket. It's Justin Newcomb.
CR 22-03561-I, Justin Newcomb. Deputy, do you have a Justin Newcomb?
Yes, Your Honor, he's present.
Okay, and what is the announcement, Counselor?
Judge, on this one, he has a felony pending, which has not been indicted. And we also did file a motion to reduce bond. In speaking with the DAs, they sent me an email that they could agree to a 2,000 PR bond.
Okay, Mr. Lozano?
Your Honor, that's correct. The state can agree to a 2,000 PR bond with the conditions of AIP for 60 days, and the defendant cannot own any firearms or ammunition during the pendency of his bond.
Okay, Ms. Coronado? Is that your understanding of the agreement? Oh, we lost her. As soon as she comes back on, we'll continue with that. Okay, Ms. Garza?
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. I have Francisco Ramon, he's number 22.
All right, CR 21-00964-I, Francisco Ramon. Is Mr. Ramon? There he is, okay. Go, what's the announcement on this?
Judge, back on January 25th, Mr. Ramon was placed on the PTD POM program. We were set for status for the 60-day status. I believe this was in April, but that got reset to June 21st. During that time, Mr. Ramon did get arrested again and has a felony in intake.
Okay. So, and the announcement from the state?
Your Honor, that's correct. The defendant was removed from PTD POM on April 18th, 2022. There is a pending criminal mischief that's pending out of the same transaction as the felony. The criminal mischief is CR 22-03545I. That's currently set for May 24th, 2022. The felony at Jailings is an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and bond is set at 100,000.
Judge, I was not aware that he had been removed on April 18th.
Your Honor, for clarification, that order has not been signed. It was filed.
Okay. All right, so the order on the removal has been filed. So I am going to remove him from PTD, obviously because of the new offenses that he has picked up. So he's going to return back on May the 24th, and we'll go ahead and keep everything together for that date.
Now, Judge, I don't believe I was appointed on the new cases. I'm only set for this one.
Okay, Mr. Ramon, any objection to Ms. Garza being appointed to your new case so she can keep them all together?
No, ma'am, not at all.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and have you appointed on that, Ms. Garza.
And Judge, I'm not sure if he has already an attorney appointed because of the felony, Judge. I didn't get that, so I don't know if it's someone else.
Your Honor, Chris Scully is the attorney on record for the criminal mischief. He was court appointed.
Okay, so yes, but I'd like to keep the same attorney that's already been working on it with the cases. So Ms. Garza, do you have any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and have Ms. Garza be appointed to CR 22-03545-I. And that way we can go ahead and keep them together.
And you said May, what was the date that you had set it for?
May 24th at 1:30.
Okay, Judge, I'll go ahead and look into this.
Okay? Anything
Yes, Judge.
further?
No, Judge, that's all I have this afternoon. May I be excused?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Judge, I
Okay,
apologize.
Miss.
I lost power.
Yeah, oh, wow. Okay, Ms. Coronado, we'll go back to your case. Let me recall Mr. Newcomb, CR 22-03561-I. So Ms. Coronado, is that your understanding of the agreement, a $2,000 PR bond with the conditions of AIP for 60 days? Defendant cannot own any firearms or ammunition during the pendency of his bond.
Yes, Judge, that was what was relayed to me in the email. That's our agreement.
Okay, then that'll be so ordered. Just for clarification, Ms. Rivera, he still hasn't been arraigned on this offense?
1 second.
No, Judge, he is not.
Okay, Mr. Newcomb, let me have you raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
In CR 22-03561-I, State of Texas versus Justin Glenn, GLENN, Newcomb, NEWCOMB, is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes.
You're before the court charged with unlawful carrying a weapon. That's a Class A misdemeanor. It carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishments you can receive, sir, for the offense of which you are charged?
Yes.
Sir, has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No.
Counselor, in speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent and able to assist you in his own defense?
Yes, Judge, he's competent.
Then the court will make a finding that he's competent and able to assist his attorney in his own defense and enters a plea of not guilty on his behalf. Okay, how much time are you requesting, Counselor?
Well, Judge, it depends on his felony. I'm not sure when it'll be indicted. So at the moment, at least for 30 days.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it out because they are taking a while to August the 2nd at 1:30. However, if you find that it has been indicted and processed sooner, let us know and we'll set them up sooner.
Yes, Judge, I will do that.
Okay, anything else?
No, Judge, there is an order that I had attached for the bond reduction.
Okay, I'll have that forwarded to my queue.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have. I be excused to my client.
Yes, you're both excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, Attorney AJ Garcia.
Hi, good afternoon, Judge. I'm here on number 32, Joe case, Judge.
Okay. That's CR 22-03542-I, Cesar Zuniga. Deputy, if you can please bring up Cesar Zuniga.
He's present, Your Honor.
Okay, this is an arraignment.
Yes, Judge, we're scheduled for an arraignment. I would also like to request that Mr. Lozano consider, and you consider, Judge, affording Mr. Zuniga a PR bond. He's been in custody for pretty much the whole month, for 18 days, according to what I have here. And so we're asking for a $5,000 PR bond so we can get released, Judge. This is a evading arrest, bogus facts, but I'm not going to get into it today. We're here for arraignment and for that request, Judge.
Okay, and is he held on anything else?
No, Your Honor, just the evading arrest.
Okay, and what says the state about the request of the $5,000 PR bond?
Your Honor, the state can agree to a $5,000 PR bond with the conditions of AIP for 30 days.
Okay,
That's a tough bargain right there, Mr. Lozano. Okay, Judge, that's our agreement. That's understandable.
okay, Mr. Zuniga, please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
No.
All right, lower your hand. In CR 22-03542-I, State of Texas versus Cesar Zuniga, is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You're being charged with evading arrest detention, a Class A misdemeanor. It carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment you can receive, sir, for the offense of which you are charged?
Ma'am.
Sir, has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, ma'am.
Counselor, in speaking with your client, do you find him to be mentally competent and able to assist you in his own defense?
Mr. Zuniga is competent, Your Honor.
The court will make a finding that he's competent, able to assist his attorney in his own defense, and enters a plea of not guilty on his behalf. The court is further granting the defense's request for a $5,000 PR bond and also assessing the condition of AIP for 30 days. And Mr. Zuniga, I do need a phone number where you can be reached, sir.
956-314-8575.
Sir, once you are released, I do need for you to make contact with Ms. Soto or the probation department as soon as the next business day that you are released. Do you understand that, sir?
Ma'am.
If you need the phone number, your attorney has the phone number for you, okay?
Ma'am.
And he will also explain what AIP is.
No
Okay.
problem.
All right, as soon as that paperwork is forwarded, I'll go ahead and sign off on it, Mr. Garcia.
Okay, Judge, thank you so much. May we be excused or I be excused?
Yes, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You have a good day. Mr. Espinosa, Attorney Emanuel Espinosa.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm on here number 12 through 15 on your docket. The state of Texas versus Yvette Hernandez.
Okay, is Ms. Hernandez still in custody?
From my understanding, she currently is, Your Honor, in custody.
Okay, I don't have the alpha female unit on, but I'll go ahead and,
Your Honor, I advise them to see if they can log on as soon as they can. They're in another court.
okay.
The only announcement there, Your Honor, is that she set on May the 11th for a plea on the felonies. I'm just gonna go ahead and get with the state regarding the misdemeanors so we can get it all taken care of together.
Okay, she just is logging in right now. Let me go ahead and let them connect to audio. Deputy, do you have Yvette Hernandez present?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Thank you. Let me call CR 21-07-510-I, CR 21-07-169-I, CR 21-06-187-I, CR 21-07-170-I, CR 21-07-171-I. State of Texas versus Yvette, YVE, Hernandez. Okay, so she has a plea set on her felony for May the 11th.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Right.
Then we can set her up for May the 17th at 1:30.
Okay, if we come to agreement prior to that, I'll go ahead and get with the court so we can get that set up earlier.
Okay, that'll be perfect.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nothing further. May we be excused?
Yes, you and your client are excused.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Osuna, Attorney Jose Osuna. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Mr. Osuna. I don't know if your volume is down. Do you want to? What number is it?
He's number 28, Your Honor.
Okay. You want to try again, Mr. Osuna?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I think you might need to log out and log back in. Okay. Attorney Al Alvarez, Mr. Alvarez, what do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Christian Salazar before the court.
Okay, sir. Let me see.
Number 24 on the court's docket.
Thank you. CR 18-06-585-I, Christian Antonio Salazar. Is Mr. Salazar present?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, and what is the announcement, Counselor?
Judge, we're pending a felony case in the 139th. And we'd like to reset until after that case.
Okay, what's the date on that felony?
We're pulling that up, Judge.
May
I don't know if the state has setting on that.
Yes, they announced May 16th. Okay, will this be taking, oh, so you're just gonna be making an announcement on that felony, or is it a plea date?
That's going to be a trial, Judge.
Oh, you're going to trial on the felony? Okay.
Yes.
Will you be going to trial on this one as well?
Well, depending on the outcome of that one, we may not have to try this case.
Okay, so, Mr. Salazar, do you currently have an alcohol monitoring device?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Soto, do you have any reports on Mr. Salazar?
Judge, he obtained his mobile device with Cloversent on April the 22nd of 2022. From that date till right now, Judge, there's no violations.
Okay, perfect. Okay, then we'll go ahead. I'm just gonna set him then, I'm gonna change him to a status, Mr. Alvarez.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
And that'll be for June 28th at 9:30. And I'll give him a couple of months on that device to see how he's doing on it.
Yes, Your Honor. He also has some more restrictions, I think, that the court had placed on him.
I'm not, what are the restrictions? Do you know?
I think he had, well, first of all, the felony court set him on AIP, Judge, but I think the court may have him under electronic GPS monitoring or electronic monitoring.
The felony court has him on GPS and also on the drug patch and AIP.
So that was on the felony, not me.
Okay,
Yes.
well, I'll go back to him on that.
Okay, all right, so Mr. Salazar, we'll see you on June 28th at 9:30. Since you're new to that device, just make sure that you continue doing what you're supposed to do. If you have any questions, you can contact your probation officer or the provider.
Okay, thank you, Judge. May I be
And
excused?
I just need your phone number, sir.
956-666-3087.
Okay, sir. All right, we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Judge, the June date will be in person, is that correct?
No, sir. Since he's a status, it'll be on Zoom.
All right, very good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Y'all have a good day.
You too.
Okay, Mr. Osuna, you want to try it again?
Yes, Your Honor. I
There you
apologize.
go.
Yes.
Got it.
Number 28 and 29, State of Texas versus Manuel Antonio Trevino. Those are CR 22-02968I and CR 20-03255I. Your Honor, the day before yesterday, I was appointed to Mr. Antonio Trevino's felony case, which will allow me to take kind of greater control over circumstances. The purported reason for his retained attorney's withdrawal was issues with communication. I've also noticed that Mr. Trevino has holes in another jurisdiction. Under those circumstances, Your Honor, we would humbly ask if the court is still entertaining motions to keep clients within this jurisdiction. He's currently being housed at Brooks. I think under these circumstances and based on very recent experiences, it's going to be difficult for me to be effective with him if I'm waiting on 10 days at a time before I can speak to him, sort of thing. So yes, Your Honor. So at the end of the day, we're just asking for a different setting. His felonies are set for June 15th, but I wanted to make that inquiry as well because it might allow us to resolve all these cases much quicker.
Okay, I'll have Ms. Rivera go ahead and do that order. And so that we can keep them here in Hidalgo County, and I'm hoping that they will. There is an overcrowding situation.
Yes,
So, but, okay, so then he's gonna be there. You said he has his felony set on June 15th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then we'll come back on June the 21st at 1:30.
Yes, Your Honor. And I have nothing further, Your Honor. May I be excused, please?
You certainly may, and so may your client.
Thank you.
Okay, before we get to the pleas, I know that, let me see. I know Mr. Jackson is here for a plea. Ms. Gutierrez, what do you have? Ms. Gutierrez? Oh, she froze. Okay, Mr. Arellano, what do you have, Mr. Arellano?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm standing in for Hector Bustos on number 30 and 31 on your docket, Moses Venegas, and I believe those are pleas today.
Okay, perfect. All right, then we're gonna take those up. Okay, Ms. Gutierrez, you're back?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what is your announcement?
So I have numbers 35 and 36 on the docket. Angel Guadalupe Santillan, he's on, but I just about 5-10 minutes ago sent the plea paperwork to Mr. Lozano because I was having a difficult time coordinating with Mr. Santillan. He's in North Carolina. So I'll let Mr. Lozano advise if we're ready to go on this plea.
Okay, Mr. Lozano?
Your Honor, we're not ready to go on this plea. Page 3 was sent as a photo. I'm gonna need Ms. Gutierrez to scan the document and send it to my email so that the clerks can accept it.
Can I try to do that while the court is calling the other cases in hopes that we can get this done today? His felony will be dismissed pending this plea, but if the court wants to reset us for another day, that's fine as well.
Well, the only thing is I only have those 2 pleas that are left and that's it. We had a short docket this afternoon. So I don't know that you'll finish it in time.
Okay, well, can I try? And then if not, I'll be
Sure.
the last. Okay, great. I'll
Yeah,
be back.
you can try. So I'll go ahead and try and do that. And then let me just take up these pleas then.
Okay, and Mr. Santillan, you can mute yourself and we'll be back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Mendiola, can you please put your camera on? Okay, thank you. And then if I could please have Deputy, Moises Lozano Venegas come forward, please.
Your Honor, I just had a question. I overheard you say that you only had the pleas left. I have 2 other inmates that are in here that say they haven't signed anything.
Okay, what's the name of?
Heriberto Montes and Carlos Sustaita.
Okay, so Heriberto Montes, number 17 and 18. That's Montes, Montez. I don't know who his attorney is. Do we have an attorney on that? Okay, he needs to be assigned an attorney. Is he asking for a court-appointed attorney? Can you put him to the screen?
He's coming here.
Yes, Mr. Montes, can I have you raise your right hand? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Montes, are you asking for a court-appointed attorney at this time?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have a job, a full-time job when you get out?
I'm on disability.
Okay, you're on disability. All right. Ms. Rivera, who's next on the wheel?
Judge, I do see that Mr. Sunny Palacios was appointed to the felony.
Okay, so Mr. Palacios is your attorney for the felony, so we'll go ahead and appoint Mr. Palacios for your misdemeanor cases.
Can I ask what's the misdemeanor and what's the felony?
Okay, your misdemeanor cases with me, it's a violation of emergency management plan and criminal trespass. I do not know what your felony offense is. If somebody can help me.
What's the criminal trespass?
You were on property without permission. I don't know the facts of the case.
Okay, but I think I was on the street, not on the property.
Okay, you'll need to talk to your attorney about that, but we're gonna let Mr. Palacios know that he's been appointed so he can go visit you.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm
And
gonna.
the felony, what's the felony?
I don't know, Mr. Lozano, do you show what his felony offense is?
Assault on a public servant and an indecency with a child.
Okay. And assault on a public servant.
Oh.
Okay, so we'll have you come back on these cases on May. Does it have a setting yet?
No, ma'am.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and have you come back on May the 24th at 1:30. And that'll give your attorney time to meet with you, okay?
Can I tell you that they already had put a court for me on May 11th?
Okay, this is after that, so that's
after
fine.
that. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and the next one that you said didn't. Okay, Ms. Canales. has
Yes, Your
not-
Honor, it was Carlos Sustaita.
Okay, the attorney's not on yet. So I don't know, Mr. Lozano, do you know what's happening on this case?
Sustaita.
Number 25 and 26.
Yes, Your Honor, the felony was resolved on March 24th, 2022. I sent paperwork back on November 29th, 2021. The felony did not have any misdemeanor dispositions. The state is not going to be dismissing the driving while intoxicated because of the felony resolution. So we're just waiting for paperwork back, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Susaita, your attorney has not shown up, so I'll just have you wait to see if he does. And if somebody from my office can contact Mr. Alvarez or Ms. Canales, please. So just wait, stand by. Deputy, if you can have him stand by, please. Okay, Deputy, if you can bring up Moises Venegas.
He's present, Your Honor, and he is a Spanish speaker.
Okay. All right. Mr. Mendiola and Mr. Venegas, can you please raise your right hand? Ms. Castañeda?
Señor Venegas, por favor, levanta su mano derecha.
Okay, do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Mendiola? Oh, you're on mute.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may lower your hand. Go ahead, Ms. Castañeda.
Jura que el testimonio que está a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, lower your hand.
¿Puede bajar su mano?
In CR 2109-759-I and CR 2203-165-I, State of Texas versus Moises Lozano Venegas. Is that your true and correct name?
En el estado de Texas se encuentra Moisés Lozano Venegas. ¿Ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero?
Sí.
Yes.
In CR 1915586-I, State of Texas versus Marco Antonio Mendiola. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Venegas, you're before the court charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, and assault causing bodily injury on a family member, a Class A misdemeanor.
Señor Venegas, está usted frente a la corte por un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad, una ofensa menor clase B y una ofensa de asalto causando daños corporales a un miembro de la familia, una ofensa menor clase A.
Mr. Mendiola, you're being charged with driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater or equal to 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor. A Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. A Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Ms. Castañeda?
Señor Venegas, una ofensa menor clase A tiene una multa potencial de hasta 1 año en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $4,000 por convicción. Una ofensa menor clase B tiene una multa potencial de hasta 6 meses en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y una multa de hasta $2,000 por convicción.
Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are charged, Mr. Mendiola?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda?
Señor Venegas, ¿entiende usted el rango de castigo que puede recibir por los delitos que está acusado?
Sí.
Yes.
You have the right to an attorney and the right to a trial by jury. You can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document with the court. Did you have an opportunity to review that document with your attorney before signing it, Mr. Mendiola?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Castañeda?
Señor Venegas, tiene usted el derecho de un abogado y el derecho para un juicio por jurado, pero puede renunciar a uno o a los dos de sus derechos firmando un documento con esta corte. Tuvo una oportunidad de revisar esos documentos con su abogado antes de firmar.
Firmé la, dijo que era tiempo cumplido.
I'm sorry, what did he say?
¿Puede repetir lo que dijo, Mr. Venegas?
Que lo que firmó los papeles, creo que era el tiempo servido.
What I signed was time served.
Okay. And did he have an opportunity to review it before signing it?
¿Y tuvo usted una oportunidad de revisar esos documentos antes de firmar?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Did you understand when you signed the document, you were waiving your right to a trial by jury, Mr. Mendiola?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda?
¿Y entiende usted que cuando firmó ese documento que estaba renunciando a su derecho de un juicio por jurado?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, then the court will accept your waivers of trial by jury. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane, Mr. Mendiola?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you can leave it unmuted, Mr. Mendiola, and that way, I mean.
It's because I'm a little sick. I keep coughing. I don't want to
Oh,
interrupt.
okay, I understand. All right, Ms. Castañeda?
Señor Venegas, ¿alguna corte lo ha declarado mentalmente incompetente, loco o demente?
No.
No.
Counselors, in speaking with your clients, do you find them to be mentally competent and able to assist you in their own defense? Mr. Jackson?
My client is competent, Your Honor, and he can assist me in his defense, yes.
Mr. Arellano?
Yes, Your Honor, he is competent and able to assist in his defense.
Then the court will make a finding that the defendants before the court are mentally competent and able to assist their attorneys in their own defense. Do each of you understand that if the punishment I assess does not exceed what's recommended by the state, you will need this court's permission if you decide to file an appeal? Do you understand that, Mr. Mendiola? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda?
Okay. ¿Entiende usted que si el castigo que voy a evaluar, si el castigo no excede la recomendación del Estado, usted va a necesitar el permiso de esta corte si usted decide presentar una apelación? ¿Entiende eso, sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
And do you further understand that I do not have to accept the state's recommendation? Mr. Mendiola, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda?
Mr. Venegas, y también entiende que la corte no tiene que aceptar la recomendación del Estado, ¿sí o no?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Mendiola, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda?
Señor Venegas, ¿es usted ciudadano americano?
No.
No.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, then entering a plea or no contest will result in your deportation, exclusion, or admission from our country and denial of naturalization under U.S. federal law. Do you understand the consequences of your plea today?
Si no es ciudadano americano, entonces esta petición va a resultar en su deportación, expulsión de este país y negación de la naturalización. ¿Entiende usted las consecuencias de su petición hoy?
Sí.
Yes.
And knowing and understanding the consequences of your plea and immigration status, do you still want to move forward with your plea today?
Y sabiendo las consecuencias de su estado y las condiciones de inmigración, ¿quiere proceder hoy con su petición?
Sí.
Yes.
In CR 21-09759-I, the state of Texas versus Moises Venegas to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
En el estado de Texas contra Moisés Venegas por un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad, una ofensa menor clase B, ¿cómo se declara, culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
In CR 22-03165-I, State of Texas versus Moises Lozano Venegas to the offense of assault causing bodily injury in a family member, a Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
En el estado de Texas contra Moisés Lozano Venegas por un cargo de asalto de causando daños corporales a un miembro de la familia, una ofensa menor clase A, ¿cómo se declara, culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
NCR 19-15586-I, State of Texas versus Marco Antonio Mendiola to the offense of driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater or equal to 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Castañeda?
Señor Venegas, ¿está usted declarando culpable libre y voluntariamente?
Sí.
Yes.
Then the court will accept your pleas as being freely and voluntarily given, and I'll call for state's evidence at this time.
Your Honor, state offers plea documents and offense reports of State's Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant's right of appeal as State's Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 3914 disclosures as State's Exhibit 3, waiver of risks and needs assessment as State's Exhibit 4, and the state requested defense counsel stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court and stipulate that the evidence that has been e-filed is sufficient to corroborate a plea of guilty.
Okay, Mr. Jackson?
Your Honor, we have no objections to the evidence presented. We do agree and stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court, and the evidence presented is sufficient for the conviction.
Okay, Mr. Arellano, any objections?
No objections, Your Honor, and we stipulate to the request from the state.
Okay, there being no objections from defense counsel as to the exhibits are hereby admitted and approved. NCR 19-15586-I, the State of Texas versus Marco Antonio Mendiola. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged, and therefore, what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state recommends a $300 fine, court costs, 1 year Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 2 years, an alcohol class, defensive driving class, the ignition interlock device for 1 year, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, 30 community service hours, gun safety course, forfeiture of the weapon, and a restitution hearing.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor, we respectfully request a waiver of the 30 hours community service restitution, given the fact that my client does work out of state and we have COVID going on right now, and it's not the best thing for him right now.
Okay.
And also, we would
respectfully
request that the weapon be ordered to be turned over to the law office of Roberto Jackson as part of the attorney's fees.
Okay, Mr. Lozano? I don't know, is that allowed?
Yes, Your Honor, it's allowed, so long as the defendant does not get possession of the weapon.
Okay, the court is granting defense counsel's request. The 30 CSR hours will be waived. The weapon will be forfeited to the law office of Roberto Jackson, and his 90-day Texas driver's license suspension will run concurrent with any administrative suspension that has been assessed. They'll have 90 days to pay the fine, 90 days to pay the court cost. And you said restitution is open?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's requesting a restitution hearing.
Okay, Ms. Rivera, can I get that date, please?
May the 24th at 1:30, Your Honor.
Okay, May 24th at 1:30. Okay, Mr. Mendiola, do you have an ignition interlock device already or a mobile device?
I have this little one, but again, I'm having little issues with it. I have a couple screenshots where it says it's not working. I was gonna ask if I can move it to my vehicle. Sometimes I do misplace this little thing it's about 15 degrees out here. And I have a lot of clothes and I sometimes misplace it. Like yesterday, I actually misplaced it for like a couple hours.
Okay, don't say anything anymore. Don't, Mr. Jackson, I think is about to jump out of his seat to tell you, don't say anything anymore, okay? So we're going to have Ms. Soto, if you can assist the court in submitting an order, switching him out from the mobile device to the interlock device so he can get that put on his vehicle. So you'll receive that order, Mr. Mendiola, through your attorney. There are nationwide providers, so you should be able to find one in your area. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your phone number?
Area code 409-300-8156.
All right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that for you. Anything else, Mr. Jackson?
Judge, like I said, it's always a pleasure being before this honorable court. I really and truly mean that.
Thank you, Mr.
You have a
Jackson.
wonderful day.
All right, likewise. Mr. Mendiola, good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. NCR 21-09759-I, the state of Texas versus Moises Venegas to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a class B misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. And Ms. Castañeda, will you please translate that?
Sí, en el estado de Texas contra Moisés Venegas por un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad, una ofensa menor clase B, es la sentencia de la corte que es culpable de los cargos.
Okay, and what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, on the DWI, the state recommends a $100 fine, court costs 3 days Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 1. On the assault causing bodily injury, the state recommends a $100 fine, court costs 28 days Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 28.
Okay, and CR 22-03165-I, state of Texas versus Moises Venegas to the offense of assault causing bodily injury on a family member, a class A misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. Ms. Castañeda, please translate.
En el estado de Texas contra Moisés Lozano Venegas por un cargo de asalto causando lesiones corporales a un miembro de la familia, una ofensa menor clase A, es la sentencia de la corte que es culpable de los cargos.
Okay, Mr. Arellano, is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
That is our understanding of the plea agreement, Your Honor. We would request that any fees be waived, Your Honor, as Mr. Venegas will be more than likely deported.
Okay, that'll be granted. His fines and court costs on each of those cause numbers will be waived. Okay, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda, let him know that that concludes his business with the court and he is excused.
Señor Venegas, su caso ya se concluyó su caso, ya se puede retirar.
Your Honor,
Deputy, go ahead, Mr. Arellano.
I have nothing further before the court. May I be excused?
Yes,
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a great afternoon.
you too, sir. Deputy in the female unit, did you have someone else?
Yes, ma'am. I have Hernandez Cristina.
Yes, Ms. Cantu's client. Okay, CR 22-03504-I, CR 22-03505-I, State of Texas versus Cristina, Cristina Maria Hernandez. Ms. Cantu, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. I apologize, Judge. I was in another court. I am representing Ms. Hernandez. I have spoken to her. She picked up some other cases. I don't know, Mr. Lozano, if you want to, one of them was a felony, but it's not in connection with this case. I don't know if you want to send over a recommendation or if you want to wait till she takes care of the felonies.
I can go ahead and send the recommendation.
Okay, so if we can have a short recess, Your Honor, so I can speak to her.
Okay, let me go ahead. I show here that I need to arraign her on these two.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Hernandez, English speaking or Spanish speaking?
English.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. You may lower your hand. And CR 22-03504-I and CR 22-03505-I, State of Texas versus Cristina Maria Hernandez. Is that your true and correct name, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
You're before the court charged with failure to identify or giving false or fictitious information, a Class B misdemeanor, and a criminal mischief of greater than $100 but less than $750, also a Class B misdemeanor. A Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment that you can receive, ma'am, for the offense of which you are charged?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am, has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, ma'am.
Counselor, in speaking with your client, do you find her to be mentally competent and able to assist you in her own defense?
Yes, Your Honor, she is competent.
Then the court will make a finding that she's competent and able to assist her attorney in her own defense and further enters a plea of not guilty on each of the offenses of which she is before the court today. Therefore, So then how much time would you need, Ms. Cantu?
I'd ask for 30 days, Judge, simply because she does have other cases and I don't know what that recommendation is going to be. And Mr. Lozano can send me a recommendation in the interim.
Okay, May 24th at 1:30. If you happen to need a new date, an earlier date, just let us know.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all we have. May we be excused?
Yes, you and your client
Thank
are
you.
excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
That's all
you,
we
Deputy.
have.
All right, appreciate your service. Okay, Mr. Alanis, what do you have?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have Pedro Elias Lucio. He pled out on his felony case at the beginning of April, Your Honor. One of the cases was dismissed, but he still has one pending misdemeanor with Your Honorable Court.
Okay.
I would need to get a plea bargain rec from the state. He's going to do time for at least 5 years.
Okay, I believe the state has an announcement on this case.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct. The open plea paperwork was sent on December 12th, 2021. The state's not going to be dismissing CR 21-10760I, which is a burglary of coin-operated machinery, just because there was a restitution that was pending.
Okay, so CR 21-10759-I, the failure to identify or give false and fictitious information, that one will be dismissed?
Yes, Your Honor, that one has been submitted for dismissal.
Okay, so the only one that is pending before me is going to be the CR 21-10760-I.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and what is the amount of the restitution that is owed? Do you know?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Okay, is there communication with the owner of that coin-operated machine?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's a vacuum cleaner and a car wash, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. So does that person that owns it know the amount of the restitution?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
Okay, so how can we deal with this if, I mean, we need to know what the amount of the restitution is so we can give him an opportunity to see if he's going to be able to resolve this case.
We'll
So
follow
when
up.
can we,
We'll go ahead and follow up, Your Honor. We just
Okay,
need
so-
2 weeks.
okay, Mr. Alanis, then I just want to know what's going on with the restitution, because that way, if that's the only thing that, with respect to that, we can go ahead and try to see if we can get that taken care of, since he's already going to be going up and serving time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so how much time would you need, Mr. Lozano?
2 weeks, Your Honor.
Okay, let me see what I can do in 2 weeks. I have May 17th at 1:30. And let's see what we can find out by then, Mr. Alanis.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Alanis, are you also appointed on that other case?
Yes, on the felony case. That's the one that I worked out his plea on.
No, but the other misdemeanor, the one of the burglary of the coin-operated machine.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect. All right, then we'll have you return on May 17th at 1:30, and let's see if we can get that restitution amount by that date.
Yes, Your Honor. Very well.
Anything
Thank you
else,
so very
sir?
much. That's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Lucio, we'll see you then. Okay.
Your Honor, if I may, I on numbers 35 and 36, I'm going to need a reset, short reset. We just need to figure out how to get Mr. Lozano that page 3.
Okay, that's fine. Then let's go ahead and do, can we squeeze them in for a plea on May 3rd? I'm sorry. Yes, May 3rd at 1:30, Ms. Rivera?
Yes, Judge, that's fine.
Okay, let's do May 3rd at 1:30. Will that give you enough time? Because that's this Tuesday.
Yes, it will, Your Honor, but it'll be through Zoom, right?
Yes, because your client is out of the area for a plea.
Yes. Okay, Your Honor, that works.
All right. Anything else? Anything else?
Nothing further before this honorable court regarding Mr. Santillan. May Mr. No, may we be excused?
Yes, you both may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Alvarez, can you hear me? Attorney Juan Alvarez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Deputy, if you can bring up Carlos Sustaita. This is number 25 and 26 on the court's docket, CR 21-02286-I, CR 21-08930-I, State of Texas versus Carlos Sustaita. And Mr. Alvarez, the state had announced that they sent open plea paperwork to you back in November. He had pled to the felony on March 24th of this year. However, that felony did not include any of the dispositions for these misdemeanors. So I don't know if you've had an opportunity to consult with your client to see what he wants to do on these two cases.
Well, the thing is, Judge, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison. I think the recommendation from the state was probation. It was, I'm not sure what I think it was 1 year probation, but he can't do probation and we'll do time. Is that still the state's position?
Your Honor, he had both judgments, the probation in case they went probation or the felony went probation, and he has a straight judgment for a jail recommendation that was sent together on November 29th, 2021.
I'm sure he'll take a time served. If that's what it is. I mean, I'm assuming it will be time served.
Yeah, it was either door number 1 or door number 2. So.
And I can ask Mr. Sustaita on the record and see if he's taking it.
Okay, Mr. Sustaita, the offer from the state at this time is a recommendation for time served, sir, on these two cases. What is your position?
He is a Spanish speaker.
Oh, I'm
Spanish
sorry.
speaker.
Ms.
Yeah, my
Castañeda, can
apologies.
you please ask him that the recommendation from the state is that for time served on each of these cases, he doesn't have to answer. If he wants to take time served on each of those cases so he can dispose of these cases, or does he want to discuss it with his attorney?
Señor Sustaita, el Estado está recomendando tiempo servido en sus casos. ¿Quiere tomar esa oferta o quiere hablar con su abogado?
No, acepto la oferta.
I accept the offer.
Okay, so then, Mr. Alvarez, do you want to go get him signed up, or what do you want to do?
I would like to sign him up, Judge. I actually have indigent defense on Zoom right now that I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna ask him, see how quick they can give me this one.
Okay, do you want me to set you for May 3rd? But that's Tuesday at 1:30. I don't know if you'll have an opportunity.
See if we can squeeze in. Yeah, see if we can squeeze in before May 3rd. I think I could do it for May 3rd, Your Honor.
Okay, it'll be May 3rd at 1:30.
May 3rd at 1:30?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda, let him know that his attorney will have him sign that paperwork and that he'll return on May 3rd at 1:30 to enter his plea.
Okay. Mr. Sustaita, su abogado, su próxima corte es el día 3 de mayo a la 1:30. Su abogado se va a comunicar con usted para firmar los papeles.
Una pregunta, Miss. Como yo ya es que firmé, se supone que en estos días tengo que irme para prisión. ¿Qué va a pasar con el que si no alcanzo a firmar los papeles?
Okay, since I already signed in one of these days, I'm going to go up to prison. What happens if I don't sign these papers? If I don't have time to sign these papers?
Okay, we're gonna ask that he be held here until at least that hearing date.
La corte va a pedir que lo dejen aquí de perdido hasta la corte del día 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
I'll sign them up, Your Honor.
If nothing further, Mr. Sustaita is excused.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
That completes the jail docket, Your Honor. Can we be excused?
Yes, thank you, Deputy, for your service.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Okay, that further concludes our docket for this afternoon.